everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the McFarlane DC Multiverse, Batman Forever, Jim Carrey, Riddler. This is Jim Carrey as he appeared in the Batman Forever film, and it's part of the collective build of Nightmare Batwave. I pre-ordered this guy for the McFarlane toy store, utilized the bundle discount and the coupon code, and even after shipping and taxes, paid less than retail for these guys. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, 22 moving parts. McFarlane Toys, ages 12 plus. DC Multiverse, the Riddler. Collective build, the Nightmare Bat. This is the third of 4 figures you need to finish the Build-A-Figure. Here he is in the package. Looks like we have a Bat Bomb, total of 4 hands, Riddler cane, collector's card, display stand, and part of the Nightmare Bat. One side of the package, the Riddler from Batman Forever. Other side, the Riddler. At the bottom, there's his barcode, if that helps anybody. And on the back side, here's the Nightmare Bat. Here's the piece you get with Riddler. Here's a checklist of the pieces, and here is the rest of the wave. So with no further ado, let's open him up. And of course, I did get 2 of these Riddler figures, one of which to open and enjoy, the other one to keep unopened in my complete Batman-related unopened action figure collection. And look at the one I'm going to open. Both of his hands have fallen off. They're down there a little bit lower with the cane. Just kind of funny. Kind of forced my hand to open that one. That way I can keep that one looking a little better unopened. But I don't see any noticeable paint defects, so it's not a big deal. And like I said, I did get the entire wave. Batman Forever Batman, Robin, the Riddler, Two-Face, and Nightmare Bat. Batman Forever, let's go! Alright, now that this figure out of the package, here he is with all the accessories laid out. He has a display stand, collector's card, a total of 4 hands, Riddler's signature cane, and then a little bat bomb. Before we take a look at all that, let's talk about and check out the figure. So this is the Riddler, played by Jim Carrey from Batman Forever. 1995, Jim Carrey was hot shit. Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, Batman Forever, really, really popular at the time, and his popularity only continued to rise, at least for a bit. Now, I have a very soft spot for Batman Forever. I was 11 years old, and it was a lot of fun. Looking back, it's not as good as I remember back then, but still a fun movie. Jim Carrey has an excellent performance, although not your typical Riddler. A little more goofy, not as psychological, but damn, this figure looks excellent. I've been waiting a long time for this. Bright, colorful, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, Batman Returns, Rogues, and this does not disappoint. So let's take a look. It's a pretty small, slim body. Pretty blank, but just like it was in the movie. This is a spandex outfit, and it's green with question marks all over it. So first of all, his face here, he's got that sort of bright orange hair, the green domino mask, and the sort of front teeth sticking out a little bit, just like in the film. Has sort of a goofy look to it, and is damn near perfect. I can totally see Jim Carrey behind this, and the Batman Forever Riddler. As you go further down, like I said, a pretty blank body, green spandex, question marks all over it. Now, they didn't put question marks on the side here, and they also didn't put it onto the butterfly ring, and that's okay. Even though I don't think that's exactly accurate to the film, I bet there were question marks all down the side too. One complaint about him, the wrists look pretty bad. Not impressed there, but a small complaint. Double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. Pretty blank and basic body, but quite appropriate and accurate. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. The front teeth sticking out, the goofy expression, it is just perfect. The hair, the domino mask. McFarlane killed it with this guy. I mean, look at the detail there. Very, very well done. And then here's the figure, broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories, starting off with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand. Typical McFarlane display stand we've seen a million times before. Very thin, very basic. Here's his collector's card. As you can see, it's an image of Jim Carrey as the Riddler from Batman Forever. The exact same outfit as the figure. The Riddler, Batman Forever. On the back, there is a description. If you want to read that, pause now. Now for his hands. He has a total of 4 of them. 2 right hands and 2 left hands. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are his fists. And here's his second pair of hands. His right hand is completely open, and his left hand is a fist. Here is his Riddler cane. You can see mine is a little bit warped from the packaging. It's sort of like a gold question mark. Looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and heat up some water and see if I can straighten this thing out. Dip this thing into some boiling water, and it straightened itself out immediately. Let it cool down, and bam, just like new. Here's the Riddler, holding that cane behind his head. And here he is, holding it like a traditional cane. Here's his bat bomb. Such a cool accessory. I'm so happy he came with this thing. It's a little sort of bat-shaped green object. It's got a question mark on the stomach. He would take the head, twist it around, and then throw it and blow stuff up. In the film, he blew up the Batmobile, a bunch of bat suits, and a lot of the Batcave with these bombs. I wish he came with 2 or 3 of them because he had a whole bag of them in the film. Here's Riddler holding and getting ready to throw that bat bomb. So I was curious, which body does this Riddler figure use? And to my surprise, it looks to be a brand new body. I thought maybe it was the John Kent body. You can see Ambush Bug here, a very plain, thin, slim body. But Riddler is different, doesn't have any muscle definition. And then I also thought maybe it could be the Adam West body. But to my surprise, Adam West is quite a bit thicker than the Riddler. So brand new body, I'm sure we'll see it again in the future. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at the figure and his accessories, let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his hair, standing about 7.1, maybe 7.2 inches tall, which can translate to just over 18 centimeters. And for his articulation, starting with his head, of course, he can rotate side to side, he can look up and down a pretty good amount, can tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders on a ball joint goes out a little bit less than 90 degrees, up, down, around. He's got this butterfly ring between his shoulder and chest area, increasing the range of motion and covering the giant gap that would be there, and honestly, it looks pretty ugly. Bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbow. His wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged. His torso is ball joint. Rotate around, forward and back. Another one in his waist. Rotate around, forward and back, barely at all. Between the two, pretty good range of motion. They're both a little bit tight. I'd say you get a tiny bit more of the torso than the waist on this guy. Legs completely does splits, McFarlane style hip joints. Rotation, it's minimal, but there. Legs go forward, about that far. Back not much. Double jointed knees. And then the ankles. Forward and back. Rotate. Tilt, rock, and of course, toe articulation. Here's a look at the Riddler, holding his bat bomb and cane, standing in front of some question marks. Now let's check him out, next to some other action figures, starting off with some of the Riddler figures. Did you guys know that Paul Dano's glasses from the Batman are the same ones that Edward Nygma wore in Batman Forever? Here's the Jim Carrey movie Riddler, next to the Paul Dano movie Riddler. One is from Batman Forever, one is from the Batman, and they are completely different interpretations of the Riddler. They're both good, but I don't really know how to even compare them. Jim Carrey was sort of flamboyant, over the top, kind of goofy. Paul Dano, more like a Zodiac killer. Very, very different, but both very cool and very fun. And here he is, next to McFarlane's Arkham City Riddler. Then, next to both the regular and Platinum Chase variant of McFarlane's DC Classics comic Riddler. So riddle me this. How many Riddler figures has McFarlane put out? It's sort of a trick question, sort of not. The answer in just a moment. Here's this Riddler, next to all of my DC Direct Riddler figures. Then, next to all of my Mattel Riddler figures. And now, with a couple of older Kenner Riddler figures. So back to the question, how many Riddler figures has McFarlane released? Well, I bet you weren't thinking of these guys. McFarlane has made 5 different Riddler figures in their 1966 Batman Classic TV series line. So, the answer to the riddle, how many Riddler figures has McFarlane produced, is 11. We have 5 in the DC Multiverse line, 5 in the 66 Retro line, and they also released 1 in the Batman the Animated Series DC Direct line. How many of you guys got that right? When I originally asked the question, I imagine most of you were thinking just in the DC Multiverse line, but McFarlane has several different Batman-related lines out there. Drop me a line in the comments below if any of you guys got that correct and guessed 11 when I first asked. Here's a look at my entire Riddler collection. Here he is, next to a Diamond Select Toys TV show Gotham Edward Nygma. I didn't put him with all my Riddler figures because this was him before he became the Riddler in the show. Then, next to a couple of Edward Nygma and civilian attire figures. The one on the left is a 7-inch scale, the one on the right, 6-inch scale. Now let's check them out. Next to some various Riddler henchman figures in my collection. Here he is, next to 6 McFarlane the Batman Riddler figures. At the end of the film, he had an army of people wearing these costumes. And here he is, next to a couple of custom Riddler henchmen I got on eBay a long time ago. I always thought these looked like kind of Arkham-style custom Riddler thugs. Then, with some Mattel Rey Mysterio figures that I use for Riddler henchmen for obvious reasons. And finally, next to a few different Jazzwares AEW Trent figures. Now, why do I use these for Riddler henchmen, you ask? Well, they all have question marks on the back of their jackets, so it seemed like it was meant to be. For a long time, I wanted to do head swabs and maybe paint their chest black like they have a shirt on underneath, but for now, they'll do. Now let's check them out with some other Batman Forever figures. Here he is with the rest of his wave. Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face, Jim Carrey the Riddler, Val Kilmer Batman, and Chris O'Donnell Robin. If you buy the entire wave, you get to collect to build the Nightmare Bat, which was pretty much deleted from the film altogether. Now, in order for me to consider the Batman Forever collection complete, they would need to make Val Kilmer in his Panther suit. That's a suit he wore for the majority of the film. I wouldn't mind Robin in his circus suit, which is a more basic Robin costume. The Riddler in his coat and jacket look, as well as the white suit from the end of the film. Chase Meridian, the Batwing, and the Batboat. Now, I'd say of all the things I mentioned, I think Chase Meridian is the least likely to be made, but I would totally consider the collection complete if they did all that. Here's this Riddler, next to the McFarlane movie 6-pack version of the Val Kilmer Batman. And here he is, next to Mattel's Val Kilmer Batman. It's a crappy figure, but at least it's in the suit that I prefer. And now, next to Mattel's DC Multiverse, Michael Gough Alfred. Although this figure is not specifically from Batman Forever, he looked the same in all 4 of the films. And here he is, next to McFarlane's Batman and Robin wave, Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, Batman, Robin, and Batgirl. Batman and Robin is a continuation of the universe started with the Michael Keaton Batman. Even though the actors and the quality has gone down, it's still the same universe. And speaking of the same universe, the Michael Keaton 89 and Returns films were what started this franchise. Batman Forever is supposed to be a continuation. Val Kilmer is supposed to be the same Bruce Wayne as Michael Keaton. I would have loved to have seen Keaton take on the Jim Carrey Riddler, but that's just not the world we live in. And here he is, next to the Batman Returns Danny DeVito Penguin. This is a Mattel DC Multiverse figure, and he's a little bit short, but he fits in okay with the McFarlane figures, as Penguin is pretty short in the film. Here are a bunch of rogues from the Burton and Schumacher franchise. McFarlane has made 4 of them, and rumor is they're going to be doing a Danny DeVito Penguin and Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman. Now, almost no company does a Jack Nicholson Joker because he's very expensive to do. I would love it if McFarlane would make him. They can milk that into 5 or 6 different figures if they really wanted to. And of course, we still need Bane from Batman and Robin. If we could put all those rogues together, that would be a really cool thing. Now let's check him out. Next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is, next to the most recent Platinum Wave. The Flash movie Ben Affleck Batman, Batman Begins Lucius Fox, Bullseye Batman, and Hugo Strange's Batman. Here's the Riddler, next to the most recent Batman Wave. Both the regular and Platinum Chase variants of the Batman Reborn Dick Grayson Batman, the Adam West Batman, and the World's Finest Fusion Batman Superman. And here he is, next to the 6th wave of McFarlane Collector's Edition figures, Clock King, Red Hood, Ragman, and Agent Liberty. There's a Platinum Chase variant of each of these 4 figures, and I'm on the hunt for all 4. If anybody has a lead on where I'm able to get one for a reasonable price, or can possibly help me out, please drop me a line in the comments below. It is much appreciated. Then, with the Walmart exclusive Gold Label Vampire Shazam and Max Mercury. And now, next to the DC Classics Darkseid Mega Figure, here's the Riddler, next to McFarlane Toy Store exclusive Dark Knight Returns Armored Batman Patina variant, and the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Superman Centennial Park Tribute Statue. Then, next to the DC Rebirth Tim Drake Robin, and the Platinum and regular versions of the Cyborg Superman. And now, next to the previous Platinum Wave, Sportsmaster, Manhunter, and the New 52 Reverse Flash. And finally, next to the second digital wave, Green Arrow, Superman, and the Atom. Now let's check them out. Next is some action figures from different various companies. so we can see how he fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you don't know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane toy, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work way smaller. But first, let's check him out with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. And now, with some Jack-specific wrestling figures, and some Diamond Select toys. Here's the Riddler, next to a bottle of pancake syrup. And here he is, next to some DC Direct and NECA figures. Then, with both some Mattel and Jazzwares wrestling figures. And now, with some Mezco and Mattel DC figures. Next, with some Mafex and Hasbro Marvel Legends. And finally, with some SH Figure Arts and some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, it's a really nice figure. When I was younger, I really enjoyed the Jim Carrey Riddler, and I still do today, although I definitely recognize how campy and goofy it can be. The figure looks absolutely fantastic. I think they nailed it on the Jim Carrey likeness, but mine does have some flaws. Here are my complaints. Number 1, I think the wrists look ugly, and the butterfly joints, or at least the little ring there, looks pretty ugly as well. I don't like the fact that it didn't paint question marks up and down his sides, but those are some minor complaints. Now, probably the biggest complaint I would have, and I'm curious if anyone else has this problem, is his hands come off really easily, especially his right hand. That is really, really annoying. Drop a line in the comments below. Do yours stay on just fine, or do they fall off really easily? Beyond that, the figure is damn near perfect. Likeness is great. I have no problem with the body. It's a brand new body, and they could have easily cheaped out and done Ambush Bug or Adam West or something like that. But this looks much better. The colors really pop on him. The red hair, the green suit, etc. The sort of buck teeth. It just all looks on point. If I were to rate this figure, probably going to have to give it an 8.5. And that's a pretty high rating in my book. This figure is excellent. They did a great job capturing likeness, and I hope we get all the Rogues from the first 4 Burton Schumacher films. Or rather, the only 4. I love the accessories. The bat bomb, the cane, extra hands. Articulation is everything you expect. Sculpted paint job on point. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.